Hello and welcome. My name is Jessica Gem, and today we're going to be doing a fairy OC. So my sister just sent me this post literally just now, and I know it's last minute, but I've decided to do it. So let's get into it. As you can see, I've put the person up here who it came from. This post is by Unset Moon. And as they say, they didn't create the trend, but this is the audio that we're using for it. So yeah, we're gonna start by finding out who our OC will be. I don't know if I can really pull up the window just because I haven't figured that out yet. I know that you can do like specific window sharing, but we're not gonna figure that out on stream, so I'll just tell you, I'll just read it out basically. But that is the author right here. And I'll write down what I'm creating as we go. Hello Skymarum, welcome. How are you doing today? So the first prompt list here is evil or good, and if you're born in the first half of the year, then you're evil, but if you're born in the second half of the year, then you're good. So I am born in the second half of the year, so my fairy is a good fairy. Whoops, not a god fairy, and also I do not like that brush. There we go. A little smaller though. But my fairy is good because I'm born in the second half of the year. And this is not actually how my writing looks. It's normally better than that. Anyway. Good, just doing some math? Nice. I hope it's not terrible math. I'm doing alright. I woke up a little late again, but, you know. It is what it is. I had to put food on for now and later, so that's why I was a couple minutes late. But the next prompt is wing color, and that is, or the wing type, and that's based on your eye color. So my eyes are kind of like an aqua, so they're kind of a mix between blue and green, and then they have gold in the center, but for this, the overall of them is definitely more blue, so that is Dragonfly wings, which is awesome. I love dragonflies, they're so cool. I used to like just watch them for ages whenever we went for picnics and stuff, so Dragonfly wings, super cool. They're really long, which is perfect for this canvas because I do have a YouTube size canvas. But yeah, hopefully it'll fit pretty well. It is terrible, it's math. Oh no. Well, I hope you don't have too much of it to do and that you're able to get through it fairly quickly. Oh. Yeah, math definitely not a favorite subject for me either. Okay, so it looks like since I have piercings, I have my ears pierced, so we're gonna have piercings, and it says freckles or moles, you get to wear a crown, so we get a crown because I have freckles. Alright, sorry, I've gotta circle back around just to make sure of something. Studying so there's no end till you're good at it. Fair enough. Ah, so piercings is actually pointy ears, not actually piercings. I missed that. Tattoos is antlers, and moles or freckles is crowns. A crown or a hat. So I have no tattoos. I do have my ears pierced, so I get pointy ears. Yes! I love drawing my characters with pointy ears. And a crown or hat. Because I do have freckles. So youngest child gets a wand, middle gets a sword, and oldest gets a lantern. I am the older middle child. I have, fun fact, 3 siblings, an older brother and 2 younger sisters. So I get a sword. But since I am the older middle child and the oldest sister, so it's kind of, you know, I'm basically the oldest child, I might add in the lantern. Just for some light source, some fun if I want, so we'll see about that. Cat or a dog, and you get a pet of some sort. So I have a dog. Her name is Teddy. She's a Morkie. Glowing sword. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, yeah. That's awesome. That would be really cool. That would be kind of combining them, but still sticking with mainly the sword aspect. Good pull. Alright, so they said a pet. If you have a dog or a cat, you can give them a pet. So I think I'm gonna do pet, because back at home I have a Morkie named Teddy. A Maltese and Yorkie cross, and she's so cute. And then here we have a Shih Tzu and Maltese cross, so, you know, kind of, and Freya and Taya, which is a dog and a cat, so kind of have a decent amount of pets covered, so I could even do like multiple pets if I wanted. If you're short, give them a mushroom dress. If you're average, give them a flower. And if you're tall, give them a butterfly. So I am the very lowest of average for female in my country, so I'm probably gonna go with mushroom just because I really, really like mushrooms. So I'm gonna say lower height. So I'm sticking with mushrooms. I'm making an executive decision for some of these things. Just for the fun of it, you know? So it didn't say anything about colors. Typically these things have like colors, like if you're wearing like the color of your shirt is the color of their hair or whatever, or a favorite color, least favorite color, that type of stuff. So we don't have that, so we have a little bit more creative freedom with what we end up with here. But that is our base to start with. So she's good. Not even a she. It doesn't have to be a she. So they are good. They have dragonfly wings, pointy ears, a crown or a hat, a glowing sword. They can have pets and mushroom. Well, they did say mushroom dress. Sparkle sword. Heck yeah. That sparkle emoji is like my most used emoji. I use it for like agreeing with things and just reacting to things, and just at the end of sentences sometimes because it's fun. Like this person here, imagination. And the music appears to have stopped, which is not ideal. It was going for a second, but let's try skipping and see if that works. But anyway, so that is our base to work off of. There's a lot of freedom there, which is awesome. But there's also, you know, a lot to figure out just because, again, there's a lot of freedom there, so we'll see how it goes. I kind of want to pick a color palette that I don't normally go with, just because I feel like if I just did my typical blue and gold, it would be, you know, a little samey, but also I could do myself as a fairy with this prompt. I could just do literally me again. I think I might do that. Because I am predictable. I'm just gonna do myself again. So one of the most common types of dragonfly that I've seen are these little blue ones with the black stripes. I kind of want to bring a picture up on screen, but also that might like disturb some people if you don't like bugs, so maybe not. But there is let's see if any of these have the name on it. Damselfly is another name for dragonfly, which is interesting. But yeah, it's basically just like a light blue with black stripes. That's the most common one that I've seen, but the blue isn't quite my style. I like a little bit more of a greenish blue. Blue mushrooms, yeah. Definitely. But the emperor dragonfly has more of that aqua kind of color and then actually green on the body of it. So that might be a good one to go with, because I do really like green as well. Yeah, I'm just looking at some pictures of dragonflies. They're so cool. They have the 4 wings, and they're all transparent, and they're long. I don't know, something about them. I just like them. They're neat. But yeah, I'm just gonna start sketching. Again, colors can come later, so I think I'm just straight up gonna do myself as a dragonfly because this seems exactly up my alley. So yeah. I'm gonna stick with it, I think. I'm just gonna make it me. 'Cause I'm insufferable. Oops. There we go. But yeah, I'm just gonna get started here. So, first off, I'm probably just gonna get the general shape of the wing. Like, I'm just gonna do a quick study here. So it looks like they have wings that kinda have a little bit of a tip, but they're fairly rounded out. Not too sharp, but there's definitely like a downward point here. So something kind of like that. And then they have this part that kind of just follows right around and up into the back of it. So that's basically a dragonfly wing. They're really not that complicated a shape, which is awesome. Because some wings are really like complicated and crazy for butterflies and moths and stuff. The dragonfly wings are actually a really simple shape most of the time. Now they do have some variations, like there's some that are more rounded, some that are more pointy, but overall they follow about the same structure. None of them have crazy variations. The top wings are normally a little bit narrower and don't have quite as many shapes going on. So this one would be, they're just about as long, but they're more of a like that. Still very similar, but just a little bit. It's almost like they're turned around. Gonna go ahead and that, rotate a bit out this length. So they're kind of like that, and then it again, it depends on the one that you're looking at, because they do have slight variations, but that's about what most of them look like. So we'll just stick with that as our reference for now. We'll actually get into doing the cells and stuff Maybe I should just block them in. Because there are lots of different colors and shapes and stuff. I think. Because I don't think I'm really basing this off of one specific one. I'm kind of looking at them all overall. Just to get a better sense for them. Might actually, there's this... I literally just searched up Dragonfly. So I can't really give credit to like any of these because, you know, I'm just looking at a bunch of dragonflies. But, you know, if you search up Dragonfly, you'll probably find the ones that I'm looking at. They're all very similar. But I'm actually gonna use the wings shape of this one. I like it a little. It has a bit more substance to it, so it looks like it could better hold like a person body than that one, because that one was a little thin. The one that I'm looking at is just kind of like a black dragonfly, and the wings have translucent white. Not at all there, like here. So this is all like black, and that would be like a translucent white. I'm just gonna use that because I like the shape of this bump on the top here. And the bottom wings are kind of like this, but they actually go a lot further down. So they have a little bit of a point there, but then they kind of have like a big A. Be kind of like that, squared off. Or not really squared off, but like really, there's like a sharper upturn than over here, which I really like. So yeah, that's kind of the shape we're going off of. I might make it a little bit slimmer to make it look a little bit more delicate, but for now, really like this set. So I'm happy with that. We may translate it to a different angle, so that's just, you know, that's just why I'm having a base there to reference off of. And the veins and stuff, I'll probably figure that out later. Well, I can do the main ones at least, just to get a base idea for the direction. So this one kind of has like 3, 4, 5 major sections. 2, 5. And I like that. And the top is also its own little section. So something a little bit like that. And then the top part, there's one section like this. One section like this. Bugs' wings are so complicated, and they're really cool to look at. That. The part that goes down this way in a little bit of it. Just absolutely wild shapes going on here. And then this one also has kind of a top rim. Hangs out over there. So yeah, about that is the main veins of it. They kind of have like little secondary pieces here that come out. But, you know, I'm not gonna get too crazy with the detail on that one. That is just our shape reference so that we can move it around in ways that make sense. A bit bigger, and then put it over down here for now. Might move it more into the center to see it better later, but for now that's just an example down there. Alright, so because it's me, we're gonna go ahead and design the dress before putting it on a person, because I feel like that would make the most sense. The blue mushroom dress is a really cool idea, but I also kind of want to do the skin as like because dragonflies have, you know, their whole skin is often like a really beautiful color, so I kind of want to do the skin as the main color area. So for the mushroom, I might go with something a little bit simpler. Although I do love the idea of blue mushrooms. Maybe a brown to keep all the color in the character instead, because the skin is not going to be like a standard color. It's going to be that bright, shiny, metallic color that they get somehow. Just looking at some mushrooms, an average day for me. I had a really big mushroom kick sometime last year. I drew them for like a month. Just literally study some mushrooms. Not even like characters. Just mushrooms. I don't know, something about them. Just neat. I really do fit into like the cottagecore section. The fantasy cottagecore. It is my calling, my nature. I'm not seeing anything too interesting in these references. You've got your standard, you know, red mushroom and brown mushroom, but let's see if we can get a bit more specific. It's gonna be brown. I don't want a red mushroom dress because that would contrast way too much with the dragonfly colors. Because I'm trying to look at the different shapes of them. There are all these like ruffly ones. That could be pretty neat to emulate. I could also just do like puff pants. But I did do that for gemstones, so I don't know if I want to do that right away. I kind of want to do a skirt. Ooh! I just found a brown slimy mushroom that has some cool look to it. That's actually awesome. I'm just gonna copy the shape of this to try and show you. Actually, maybe I can bring this one in. It's from shroomery.org. So, content warning, slimy brown mushroom? Look at it, isn't that a fun shape? I think I just might use that as the skirt shape. Like she's jumping down. I love to do a good jumping down pose. And I haven't done one in a while, so that is actually perfect. I'm just gonna straight up copy this shape. I'm not gonna draw straight over it because that is, you know, that's not how we learn things, and that's also, you know, kind of plagiarism if I don't give credit to the photograph. So I'm gonna, you know, change it to be my own. But I really want to learn from the folds of this because it looks exactly like a flowing piece of fabric. Okay, just gotta delete all that because I forgot to do it on a new layer. Classic mistake. I don't think I put anything on. Alright. Dying at the trigger warning. Yeah, I mean, some people really hate mushrooms and bugs. I kind of get it. Like, there are some bugs that I'm like, no thanks. Like cockroaches and stuff, but some people are really freaked out by them, so, you know, I wanna be respectful and just give a gentle warning, like, hey, mushrooms. But yeah, so you can see like the centerpiece even comes up like a skirt meeting a dress, which is so perfect. So I'm just gonna, you know, straight up sketch this. I'll probably change a few things around as we go, but I really like how this flows, so probably not too much difference. Mostly just, you know, the things in drawing that visually will just change as I interpret it in my own way. And that's probably what I'll stick with. So this one comes up and around. Yeah, I just really, so cool. And there's this like here. I'm just gonna kind of indicate the shapes that are in the shadows, just because this will straight up be just able to be used as is, as like fabric folds and stuff. It's just so cool. I can't believe I found this reference. It was just there waiting for me. Just to come in a bit more. I might add like more folds as we go as well. And also this bottom part, I think I'm gonna translate the underside of that into like a petticoat kind of thing. So it'll be like fluffy down here, not exactly like this, not attached to the top skirt, but just like fluffy below it. Me already wanting to, already thinking maybe I can make this and wear it to like a, you've seen those mushroom circle gatherings at like Ren fairs and stuff? Like one of those. These costumes are so cool. I want to wear more costumes. I think people should wear more costumes in their day-to-day. So that they're not even costumes, they're just cool outfits. I am definitely a fan of the recent, you know, wear what you want and be a fantasy creature out in public. That is my jam. Have a bit of an edge because it's slapping. May not translate perfectly, which would be fine. I'm just gonna do my best here. This one might go for a little longer because I do notice that it's already been half an hour and I'm just starting to sketch stuff out, so I don't think this is going to be like a full illustration. I think it'll probably stay as a sketch. That's kinda close. Gotta add more of the volume here. It's a flying on. Now houseflies I don't like. Not because they're scary, but because they're annoying. And gross. Oh my gosh. And frustrating when they get on your food. I had to throw out a whole chicken stroganoff bake that I made. Takes me like 2 hours to make. And the tin foil blew off of it. So it was sitting there like without tin foil on it, and there were flies, like not a ton of them or anything. Like it wasn't hundreds or whatever, but there were flies in the noodles and stuff, so I had to throw it out, which was so sad because it takes so long to make. It's so much like so many supplies, so much wasted food. It really frustrated me. And then I tried to make another one and I forgot it in the oven overnight, so I had to throw it out. So I'm probably not gonna make those for a bit. A little traumatized from them. I had to throw out 2 entire ones. The first one I didn't even get a meal out of because I had eaten something else already. Or like I was going to bed or something. I can't remember exactly. But I didn't even get some of that one, and then the second one we only got 2 meals out of when it can actually do 6, so 'twas really unfortunate and really frustrating. First time it was flies, second time it was my awful memories striking again. So I'm probably not gonna make that for a while, but you know, we had it a couple times recently anyway, so branch out, discover new foods. Oh man. I think I've let it go okay. Like, I was really distressed at the time, but thinking about it now, I'm like, you know, could there have been something I would have done about it? Probably. Did I do that? No. So is it worth still thinking about? No. Just as long as I make sure not to make the same mistakes next time. Which I didn't. I left it in the oven, covered in tin foil, so flies couldn't get to it, but I left it in the oven, covered in tin foil. So I forgot about it. Like, the oven was off, but overnight a bit too long to eat it still, so. But yeah, that's just a cool skirt shape. And now we can do this fun thing where we lower the opacity of this and see how close we got. Or how close I got to the shape of it. Now I know it's definitely, you know, off, but we can just see where it's off. It's always fun, like, fitting this over top. So this side I went a little bit too small. This part is a bit too wide. I'll just set it at the top there. Not awful, but I undersold this side a bit and oversold this side a bit. Which I think is fine. Like, it makes a really good dynamic skirt. But just, you know, if I was studying from this to make it accurate, it's definitely something that I would need to alter. But I'm not doing it to be accurate. I'm doing it to design a dress out of it. And the more dynamic, the better. So yeah. That is our skirt that we're gonna go with. I'm actually gonna undo this because that lowered the quality of it by moving it down there. And I'm just gonna correct this here. But obviously, you know, we've got to transform it into a skirt, so it's not gonna stay exactly like this. But it's pretty dang close. And now the problem of fitting a pose into this. So, normally you start with the pose before you do the clothes, but pose before clothes. Anyway. But since I really liked the shape of this mushroom, we did the skirt first. I'm just gonna put this over here. I just like to keep things on the canvas. I just feel like it's more visually interesting. If it's distracting, I apologize, but... Oh well. Yeah, so that is a side for later. We can adjust it once we have our pose down. But that's it for now, so jumping down. I have done a couple of these before, like the jumping down or like the falling kind of pose. But it's always interesting to try and figure out what I want to do with it. I really like the kind of stretched out legs look. Maybe I will keep this up for just a second, but I'll lower the opacity. I could just use this little one. I could just use this little one as a little, like, thumbnail sketch. So this, I am gonna do it in a different color. With, like, a brighter... So this area is probably the underbust, just because that's where it falls best on me. And yes, it is still me. I have still decided that it will continue to be me. So that'll probably be, like, right, you know, there might be a thick belt or something there, but that'll be where it's coming out from. Probably a little bit more angled. We could actually just zoom in on this area since we're just doing thumbnails right now. Which you're not really supposed to zoom in a ton on thumbnails, but just since I'm doing, you know, I don't want it to be way out so that I can actually see what I'm doing. Oh, it'll look like she's jumping down onto this mushroom. Or like I am. So typically I would like to go with a... You know, I've done like the arms out kind of hands like that, jumping down pose, looking down with like one leg out, one leg up. So that's kind of my go-to for when I'm doing a jumping down pose like this. But I kind of want to try like rotating something. So maybe the body is kind of like curving so that I end up looking this way instead. But then the hips are still, but my hips are still kind of facing this way, so it's like a nice S curve. Maybe even like the. It would be funny if I did the knees up, because then you couldn't really see them at all. I wouldn't have to draw them. She would just be like a body out of the top and nothing down below, which would be funny, but I think I might do one leg below just, you know, because of having a leg. So what I try to think of when I'm doing a pose like this is how it would actually work, like what you would be doing with each body part if you're making a pose. So if she was jumping down and twisting like this, then... And she has a sword! She could be attacking something. Or like, you know, in a cool, like, pose. So, just leaving a marker to help me know the direction. If I'm right-handed, so the sword would be maybe like... Oh, she could be like attacking someone, like jumping down. But no, maybe not. I don't think you're really supposed to jump with a sword, but... She's a fairy, it's fine. But yeah, it's really interesting to try and figure out poses like this. I have a longer torso, but not quite that long. That was freakish. Charging at someone? Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Like jumping down. Normally I would just do the pose. In fact, I am going to do that. When I'm really struggling to figure out a pose, like same with hands and stuff, I just do it. You know, yourself is the best reference because it's right there and it can be exactly how you pictured. So if I sound a little far away, it's because I'm standing up. Alright, so jumping down, torso twisted to the left, down and over. See, my fairy's supposed to be good, so I feel like she shouldn't be like fighting because that really looks just like evil. She could be defending, but maybe defending. Okay, so if I do... Ignore the sounds of my chair moving, it's fine. Fighting evil, yeah. If she was doing like a sword up, but then other hand like in a defense pose. So the sword is kind of... I'm just doing the pose here and it would be kind of up in front of her face. And then this hand would be kind of here for defense. Ooh, and then we could do a cool, like, just the edge of the face peeking over. Her hair flying up. Because my hair is wild right now. I cut it short to be like a pixie cut, which would have been perfect for this, but it has grown out. And I have not done anything to it since. So it's just, like, an 80s haircut. It's just a big, fluffy mass, which, you know, I'll probably clean it up a bit for the sketch, but I'm looking a little wild right now. But yeah, kind of like a defensive pose. And then what foot would be? I don't normally jump off of high structures, so I don't know what your leg position would be if you're jumping off of something this high up. I think probably the left leg would be lower. I seem to keep standing on it. So it would probably be the one that's, you know, downward facing. Leg. That's not right. I know how to draw, I swear. Just takes a while sometimes. You probably wouldn't see much of the other one. Up like that. So it really just needs to look good with whatever's down here. As long as it makes sense, like, for the proportioning, it doesn't really matter what's going on in here, as long as this leg is coming out at the right spot. So for construction, it matters what's going on here, but for the actual execution of it, it doesn't need to be perfect. But that's pretty good. I think I like that. Don't have that thigh. And then the dragonfly wings would be kinda out like that. Not the best composition. Ooh, that's actually a little bit better. This is a little bit smaller so that the skirt mimics the... Maybe if I make these wings go up a little bit more, so that the flows are all kind of in the same direction. Because dragonfly wings kind of fold right up. So maybe if I do something more like that. Ooh. Okay, we're making some progress. If they're kind of up in the same direction. But maybe shallower because they're back? Well, I kind of want to show off the dragonfly wing. Maybe something like that. I kind of want to do like a dragonfly butt, but I feel like that would be weird. Like just a dragonfly tail. I feel like dragonfly actually makes the most sense for me. Dragonfly or moth makes the most sense for me out of the options. Because again, like I said, I really like dragonflies. So I feel like it's good that it landed on that. If it was like a bee or something, I definitely wouldn't make it me, but it turned out to be pretty perfectly like me. I think that's pretty good. Obviously it needs some adjustments, but that's pretty movement and pretty okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw that bigger then. I don't like to use my thumbnail sketch for actually drawing the main thing because I feel like it can, you know, distract you from what you're actually doing. The proportions are way different in a thumbnail sketch than in an actual sketch, so I definitely don't, you know, I want to start with a closer base. It's just going to be facing this way. I want to do a harsher angle than I normally do because I noticed I don't really do even 3/4. I do just slightly to the side of a half. So my eyes are often really like kind of plain and samey. Like my characters are also always facing the exact same angle. So I kind of want to push it a little bit more with this one and actually have my nose like coming out from my face, I think. That's something I'll figure out later. But I think I want to try that. Just gonna indicate. Yeah. I've been doing like a decent bit of practice recently. Not like every day or anything. I haven't been drawing much, but most of what I have been drawing when I've had the time has been like studies. So I'm hoping that it's helping my art a little bit. But since I haven't been able to do much art, I'm not really sure what effect it's having. Stick with the round face. I've got to remember that it's me. Definitely more rounded. That's actually a pretty good head. And the pointy ears! Do not forget the pointy ears. That's the purpose. I'll take care of the details after. I need to get the construction down. But yeah, she's doing like a full kind of rotation here. So the chest is nearly forward, but then the hips are actually facing this way. So slightly over on this side. I didn't realize how weird it would be drawing like myself on stream, because I've drawn myself before, but normally I don't put the construction part in. Like, I don't think of it too much because it's just me, but anyway. I guess I did put it in for my... I did a video of some art that I had done for my birthday. I guess I did put the construction in there, so it's not as weird, but you know. I definitely want to push this a little bit more. I want to grab this and really kind of crank it to the, not like that, angle it to the side. I really want it to feel like flowy and dynamic. The head is too big for this torso. I will fix that after. I'm definitely a draw and then adjust to fit type of person instead of a draw it in the right place first type of person, which I've been trying to fix, you know, with the practice and stuff, but it's still a work in progress. And again, for the legs, I don't have to be perfect, I just have to get the proportions right, and then that'll be close enough. Got my thick calves. Strong. Doesn't need to be perfect. Also, I'm really terrible at drawing feet still, even indications of feet. So that's not really how it is, but close enough for now. Closer. No feet pics. And I try, you know, as an artist, like, I don't want to, as a thicker artist, I guess, I don't want to, like, completely draw all of my characters super skinny and everything, but it's just so fun to draw them, like, really nicely, you know? Not that, you know what I mean. Not that it's not nice to be, like, thicker, but it's just really nice, the shapes and curves that you get when someone's like really lean, I guess. Even though I tend to draw my characters like a bit more muscular, but I try not to be too flattering. When I'm doing like real people, especially myself, I try to kind of get the, I try to get it a little bit closer. Like, obviously I'm still a bit flattering because I want it to look nice, but... And when you draw something exactly how it is, it can look really weird. Like, if you're drawing an older person's face, if you add all of the wrinkles, it can look real messed up, so... You know, drawing needs some editorializing. Make it make sense. And I don't really need to do that leg because it is completely hidden. But yeah. So I try to keep my actual shapes, but then maybe the proportions are a little bit more flattering. I do still want a little bit bigger of a head just because I tend to draw heads... Like, if I'm trying to draw super realistic, I tend to draw the head too small. his heads are bigger than I think. Like, they're smaller than some giant cartoon heads, but they're bigger than I tend to like draw them, because they're, you know, they're not that much smaller than the top half of the torso turned up. So it's kind of hard to remember that sometimes. Like heads are bigger than I think. What's with that? I do want to mess with that a little. There we go. So something like that. I do have really short legs, but maybe not quite that short. I feel like this part needs. There we go. I remembered the actual separate torso part. So yeah, something like this. Feels like it'll work. Perfect. And now the arms. So the arms, I am just gonna add a second layer here just because they're right in front of her. So I want to be able to kind of move them around as I go. And I'm just doing a really rough hand here just to get the idea of it down. Really rough. Ooh, I won't have to draw this angle of the face. I'll just have to draw the eye if I leave it here. I should draw more interesting angles. Covers the entire thing. But maybe that is how it is sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta give it. I'm not a huge fan of covering hands. Like, I was never that kind of person who really avoided drawing them. I also didn't draw a ton when I was younger, so, you know. Kind of a trade-off there, but... like, I never really tried to avoid them. Which, you would think that would make me better at them now, but... I wasn't really that type of kid who learned... that type of artist who learned from, like, copying a show's style endlessly or drawing endlessly. I kind of got into it later. Like, I had always drawn and stuff, but mostly from my head. I didn't copy a lot of things. Which, you know, I could have done a lot better if I had. If I had learned by copying things, but I feel like it also gave me a really distinct style. Because it was just kind of exactly how my brain translates things. Like, there's no other, like, stylistic influences other than, you know, I have seen other art and I've seen other shows, but not studied them when I was younger, like a lot of artists have. So I feel like that might have given me a part, like a big element of how my style looks. Because I wasn't, you know, I didn't watch anime when I was younger. I didn't know what it was until I was like in my teens. And I didn't watch a ton of shows or anything. We didn't have cable, so at my house, at my grandma's house, we did. We went over pretty often, so it's not like I didn't get any exposure to TV and stuff, but definitely less than some other artists that I've heard their stuff, so it's interesting. I'm wondering how it may, like, how much it impacted my style, how different it is. Ooh, I kind of like that. That's kind of dope. I don't normally draw, like, blocking poses. I don't know if I've ever. Unless it was, like, doing a quick study. Kind of like that. I think this fist has turned too much now, though. It'd be a little bit more... well... actually, it shouldn't be like that. It should be more the side of the fist. That, and then the fingers are curled around here. But I still want it to be, you know, up and blocking. As I said, I'll figure out the hands perfectly later. But I think that's a pretty good base, honestly. I like the pose. That looked pretty good. Heck yeah. Maybe it has helped. Guys, I have an epiphany. Maybe practicing does help. No, I know that it's definitely been helping a little bit, but nice. I feel a little bit more comfortable with that. Okay. I'm still gonna leave those two layers separate though. This is gonna need to be bigger. Oh, it's so voluminous. Oh my goodness, I love it. Heck yeah. And also having it slightly overlap the arms. Mwah. Perfection. Okay. But yeah, basically like that. And new layer on top. And this is for the top. I'm gonna do top of the dress. So she's obviously some sort of like, I'm obviously some sort of combatant. I fight. I have a sword. And it's not just for the aesthetic, even though legitimately would do, cause have done. Not actually carried a weapon in public, but I had a sword. I did give it to my dad when I left though. Or my younger sister. Not sure who got it. But yeah, so this will be... What type of shirt should I wear? I feel like it should be a tighter shirt since the skirt is so loose. So we'll probably do like a belt to unite them. Maybe like a corset belt. So one of the ones that kind of comes... Maybe not quite that low. Just a center of mass corset belt. Basically just a really thick belt more than a corset, but got like the style of it. Then some buttons. It's like a buttoned one. That looks kind of cool. Just because I found a belt that I got at a thrift store and it was kind of like this and I forgot that I had it. I don't want to put that on there. Because then, if I do decide to make this, I already have one of the pieces. Thinking ahead. I do that sometimes when I'm designing like a look for myself. I tend to draw it with stuff that I have similar to already, because then if I do decide to do it, I already have that piece. Thinking ahead stonks. That's how you do it, you know? That's how I think some leather arm guards would be cool to kind of mimic the corset belt. So these are, like, the corset belt that I have is black, and dragonflies often have like black on them, so I think that works really well. I'll actually add some black into this design, which is not my typical. I don't normally use black pretty much at all when I'm doing just casual designs. So this will be interesting to actually put black on one of my own characters. I don't tend to go for it. And I own black clothes, but I pretty much only wear them when I'm working. Like, I have to wear black when I'm working, so that's why I own black clothes. I almost never choose it for myself, so. Not because I particularly dislike it or anything, but just... Oh, I feel like it could be... I think I am gonna do full sleeves, though. Definitely much more subtle but they're just mimicking shape. And I need to remember that it's a mushroom dress. Because I kind of forgot that. Just ever so slightly flowy. Like it's just got a little bit. And it comes down to a V probably. That's the way. I like it. Night at the museum. Why did I think of it? And I'm gonna mimic the buttons as well from the corset, just to bring that whole design together. There we go. Nice. I feel like it's subtle but still suitable. Subtle and suitable. She doesn't really have any armor, so I feel like she's not an active fighter, you know. I don't choose violence. Violence chooses me. Oh man. Where's the skirt layer? I'm just trying to arrange them in a way that makes sense. Oh wait, these are the arms. They should be underneath. What am I doing? Anyway, so now it's time for the petticoat, because we're gonna add that. So you're probably gonna see it a bit from like over here. This will kind of follow the flow, but maybe a bit more intense. Yeah! Flowy, floofy. But yeah, I mean, that's basically that. Just keeping it loose, keeping it ruffle. It was funnier if I said it in a better way. But I'm a bit out of it. I'm a bit tired. Didn't get quite enough sleep last night either. I don't know why I keep doing that right before streams, but you know. I do that all the time, I guess. Maybe I just don't realize it until I'm streaming that I'm like completely out of it. Maybe because it's because I'm trying to think. I like have to think right now. Anyway. The second layer, this edge here, just to get it really floofy looking without being too precise. Second layer kind of adds the like underside of these. Yeah. It looks kind of mush for me, but still like a dress. I feel like it should be a little bit less on the top here though. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted for a second. I've just got to... I'm gonna make this a bit closer to the top here. I feel like I did want some distance, but that's a little too much. Because the petticoat shouldn't really be like longer than the skirt. It's just supposed to mimic it. There we go. I feel like that looks a little bit closer to what I was going for. Let's clean up some of the in-between lines, and there we go. Just vibing, listening while you work? Heck yeah! That's exactly what I want to be, just a vibe. My goal is to be really cozy and just a really nice chill time. It just fits with my personality. my voice, I guess. Except when I'm being chaotic, but you know. Even then, my voice doesn't get too crazy, I don't think so. Hopefully, even that's a vibe. But yeah, so that is our base dress, I think. The other thing that makes sense would be like boots. Which, you know, I love drawing boots. Love boots. They just look so cool. I also like wearing boots, but I haven't found a pair that's super comfortable yet. I have one back at home that was pretty nice, but I didn't bring it with me, not practical, so I'll get some boots if it gets colder again. Or finally, I guess I've been waiting for it to get colder. And some chunky boots. The foot's kind of going forward, so you wouldn't see too much of it on the side, but maybe a little bit. No. Again, not good at drawing feet or boots yet. There we go. Kind of like that. And then again, just the same buttons as the corset. Just to get that look in there. Ooh, it could be like the strappy boots. The straps that kind of go from one side to the other and button on the side. Yeah. I feel like that's a fun element. Makes them a little bit more interesting. Oh, and then maybe the toe bit. There we go. It was looking a little boring, but that helped it a lot. Neat. That's a bit chunkier than I was intending. Slim it down. I feel like it's on a little bit of the wrong angle as well. If I just take this toe part and realign it a little bit, it should be fine. Well, she is supposed to be jumping down, so maybe the foot needs to be more pointed. Is that what's bothering me about this? Not quite pointy, but pointed. It's alright. I think I might want these buttons to come more visible on this side, because that'll help sell the angle of the foot a bit better. Because it's twisted, you know, kind of this way. Not straightforward. Maybe you should see a bit of the fiddling with this boot here, trying to figure out what I'm doing. There we go. That got it a bit closer, but it kind of does look like the wrong foot. I don't know how to tell the difference. It just feels like the wrong foot. Tricky. I think this part's throwing me off. I'll finish the shape of the boot before. Maybe like a point? Ooh, that helped. Point helped a little bit. Plus it adds some sharpness to the design, which I do kind of like. So I think I'll just go ahead and add that on the gauntlets as well. The point on the end. And up in the center of here. There we go! I like adding that sharpness to it. I look soft, but I'll hurt ya! Not really, but you know. Maybe by accident. There we go. I think that worked. A lot better. Alright, how does it look? There's no one there. Okay. I think the boot needs to be a little bit bigger so that it, you know, would cover the foot. Ooh, yeah. Funky. Not very practical for jumping, but she flies. She has wings. It's fine. Maybe there's springs in the... I don't know. Alright. But yeah, I like that. I think I'm just gonna use this darker color as the line art. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do like the actual hands. I'm gonna keep it a bit cleaner on the skin, because the fabric having that loose sketchiness can add to the dimensionality of it. But for skin, you know, skin doesn't exactly have that many large textured folds, so typically anyway. Gonna go ahead and look up this reference. Try to find one at a similar angle. Cool. And I'm gonna draw it over here. So the front should be kind of like that. So this is gonna be my base. That. This one needs just really hard to tell sometimes. Fists are difficult. Get the angle. I think you'd see the base of them, because it's pointing like this is the hand. So it's like pointing this one. This one's actually gel. Anyway. So it should be, these fingers are being blocked and then you'll see the edge. That one. Kinda like that. Then just clean it up a little bit. Again, I am keeping this as a sketch, so I'm not gonna be perfect, but you want to be cleaner on the skin. Nice. Probably mainly see this top knuckle, not so much down here. These are kinda like that, but not really. And then this one starts higher than this, so you fold in here. I know it's not the best commentary, but hands are tricky, so I'm just trying to figure it out right now. There we go. I think that's right. Except she's holding a sword, so it would be a little bit more open. Dang nabbit. I did it again. Sword. Opacity of that. And try again. So the hand is wrapping around. So pinky. Kind of like that. The middle finger. Not the middle finger, the ring finger. Middle finger. And the pointer finger. That's not how it looks. Hands are the worst. But I feel really accomplished when I actually figure one out, so. They're just like a whole nother body to figure out. They have the same amount of limbs, except even more joints. What kind of sword should I have? Maybe a rapier? I don't know, I'm feeling long and thin. I feel like that's a very fairy thing. Lithe. Okay, I'm gonna use my own hand. Flip my canvas there. This is awful, so get out of here, please. This one that I drew before is actually not bad. I actually am pretty happy with that one. That one works pretty well. Maybe if I can just extend it. Oh, I did this on the arm layer. Okay, that's fine. Anyway. I need to hold something. If I'm gonna use my own hand, then I need to hold something of a similar size. Unfortunately, I don't have a sword on hand, which is actually really sad. Or not one this big anyway. I have a little like letter opener sword. Water bottle? Oh, that's too thick. Maybe this light bulb. Sure, that kind of works. Gotta make sure I'm holding it on the same angle. Oh, the things I do. Okay. And just... So you got this knuckle. These knuckles are actually in the hand. So this comes that. This knuckle. It is hard to hold my hand like this. I'm using my left hand to like spin it all the way around to do this one. And it is terrible. Okay, the thumb is just a little nub in here. That. Not quite like that. There's more that. My own hand is the best reference because I can get it in the exact position. Sometimes. Plus it is actually my hand, so. Portion side is good. Ow! Not super comfortable. That is fine, and then this knuckle here. This knuckle. Trying not to move it around, but I feel like I have shifted the perspective a little bit. I'm just completely ignoring this thing, by the way. Here. Shifted. Ow. That hurts my whole arm. Okay. Like this. The faster I do this, the faster I'll not only have a hand, but also not have to hold mine like this. Break for a second as I move this. Oh man, I'm so sorry. This has got to be the worst part of streams. My streams, when I'm just figuring out hands and stuff. Draw that there. Not really. I can fiddle with it till it's right after. I just need to make sure that I have the right base going. Ow! Okay. Hello, Simple Potato Farmer. Welcome. It's orc time. Heck yeah. Okay. Think I got it. This is the middle finger, so it should be theoretically. Ow, my hand. My wrist. Stretch. Starch time. Okay, so that one and that is more the knuckle. I put my hand down. I'm just going off of memory now. My wrist and arm hurts so much. Indeed, the potato is back. Heck yeah. Alright. Oh, that doesn't look right, does it? This looks awful. No. For all that work trying to get it right, and it doesn't look any better. I feel like the fingers are all the same size, and they're not supposed to be. What did I do wrong? Alright. I'm gonna try something. Goodbye. Straight up. Yeah, straight up delete that. That's no good. I copy this layer. And move this layer over. Put the sword in its grasp. Okay. Right. Got Photoshop on the brain. I was doing thumbnails. Don't remember how to use this program anymore. I say every single week and still do not practice in the slightest in between streams. Ah. Great. Anyway. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. That. And it works perfectly. And that is the end of this saga. Just gonna use this one. Might be quiet because you're dying right now. Oh no. What's going on? How's everyone? I'm doing okay. A little bit sleepy, but that's not unusual. Rather not talk about it? Alright. Well, I hope that you feel better soon. Gets possible. That really helps. Yay! You're gonna lurk? That is no problem at all. Just happy to have you here. Save, yes. Saved. Have saved. Thank you for the reminder. It had been a bit. Alright. We're just straight up gonna use this hand. It's good already. And for the sword hilt, I am just gonna use this one because it's already at the right angle, but I'm gonna change. So, holding a sword, it's going off in this direction. So it needs... Wait, with the finger. So yeah, so the side of it would be like this. Now what type of sword am I doing? Obviously a glowing one. What do I want it to look like? Is there any... Ooh, is there any shapes in the Dragonfly that I could use? That would be cool to try and translate it. Like the Dragonfly tail somehow. I feel like I should also do something with Dragonfly face, because they're just so... like... iconic? I don't know. I don't know if I would call a Dragonfly face iconic, but it's such an important feature of them. How their little face looks. Not sure if it would translate well into a sword. It's just kind of like... it's in the middle. Actually. Does that translate into a sword? I kind of don't want to translate this, like the eyes, into a sword, because I feel like, you know, that could have some problems. So maybe not. This? Well, the blade could be shaped like the tails, at least. Probably should that way. They're on the same layer. The blade could be shaped like the tail, at least. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and keep that there and use this as my sword sketch layer just to give the direction of it. Help if I make it not. There we go. I think I'm making too many layers. I'll lose them all. So the Dragonfly tail, I'm just gonna do it on this. But dragonfly tails, a lot of them have a little bit of form to it. Like, they're not just a straight line, obviously. So they have a bit of a... They have a bit of a shape to them. I'm just trying to find one that's a good back view of it. Ah, there's a good one. Nice. So dragonfly tails kind of have this like two-part system where it's like a larger one and then it goes in and then back out. So I feel like that makes a cool looking sword blade. And then into their wings. Should I put wings on the sword? Little dragonfly wings? Maybe the sword is just straight up a dragonfly. Or like mimicking the design. The crossguard, yeah. Okay, we're doing that. We are doing that. First of all, not you, not you. You to you. There we go. I'm just gonna move this down a bit. Way. No, it's not that. Okay. I might have to move the sword. It's gonna move her down a bit and actually lengthen her a little bit. No, I'll fix that later. Definitely will remember to fix that later. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this sword here. Move it back up and make sure it's still centered. Just so that I have a bit more room to finish it. And the reference I have, the dragonfly is facing this way, so I'm just gonna do that so I can see it a bit better. But yeah, I'm gonna mess with the proportions a bit. So it'll just be like really little wings. Because the normal dragonfly would obviously be a lot bigger than that. Like the wings up there. But for this one, since it's just the handle, it takes the proportions of the dragonfly, inflicts poison because of bog. Yeah, poison fairy based on a dragonfly and mushrooms. Heck yeah, that really fits. Oh, this is actually the one that I use the wings of too. Perfect. I didn't even notice that somehow. Yeah, this is the same one that I used. I guess I really like this one. It's just a really good like back picture of it. Something like that. So instead of, you know, an actual dragonfly that is being used as a sword, it's just a sword that has been based off of a dragonfly. It's mimicking the shapes, but still, you know, being a sword. So that kind of has a connection there. And then so it's like the different sections of the body. Now I've got to be careful with this part, because the dragonfly eyes are... There we go, that kind of mimics it without being too phallic. So it's like the dragonfly eyes and the face here. And if I have a hammer or axe, it could be a beetle? Ooh, that's a cool concept. This one is just based off a Dragonfly, but I could totally see a weapon like that. I feel like I want to disconnect these. It's a very long Dragonfly. The Bug Power Rangers? Heck yeah. Could you imagine, like, if you know how a dragonfly flies, could you imagine this thing buzzing around? Oh, the proportions are so wrong, but it's actually kind of a cool sword design. I think I'm gonna fix these wings up a little bit. These are supposed to be resting at the top. That'd be so spooky. Yeah. A little bit more good. And these ones come down up a bit. So cool. I think that looks pretty neat. A sword based off a dragonfly. Okay, I want to make this so bad now. I even have, like, we got a roll of, what is it called? Cellophane? By accident? Like, we were trying to get, I think it was wrapping paper, and we thought it was silver wrapping paper, but it was actually cellophane. Well, the person who was purchasing, I wasn't actually. I would have read it, but you know. But yeah, maybe I could try making dragonfly wings, and if I can, then maybe I can make the sword, and if I make the sword, maybe I'll just make the whole outfit. But that would be so pretty. It would be a fun project too. I've been really wanting to do like cosplay, costuming stuff again, and thinking about it. I mean, pretty much constantly since the last time I did anything for it, but... Okay, I think that's good. It's like a short sword, so it's not super long, which I like. I don't know why, but I like short swords. Heck yeah, I mean, I think that just works. So we'll go ahead and pop this on. So since I have a copy of the sword, I'm just gonna lower the opacity and erase everything that's lapped. Bring it back. Oh, that looks pretty good. And I'm just gonna merge the hand down onto it. What's that over there? Be gone. Thank you. Man. I like my transforms to be clean. Oh, I get it. It's still symmetrical. It's like, what the heck is going on? It was still on the symmetry tool. This goes right there. And now this hand is holding the blade. That seems uncomfortable. You shouldn't do that. Anyway. So that can go away, and that can go away, and that can go away. Poke accuracy. I think kind of want to make it a little bit longer. I feel like it's just a little too short even for a short sword, just because of how big the hand is. A little bit wider, just so that it goes straight into the sides. Oh, it's all messy. I think there's ways of like preserving the excuse me, hiccup. Sorry about that. I think there's ways of like preserving the quality of it when you're Oh no. Transforming it? One moment, please. Okay. I think I'm back. Oh man, I had hiccups earlier and they came back. Always the double attack. Oh man. I'm alright. Okay. We're back. Thank you for your patience. Apologies. Oh man. But yeah, so I just neatened up the sword a little bit because there is a way to transform things that it keeps their quality, but I don't know how yet, so I should probably figure that out since I do so much transforming, but yes. Hi, alright, I'm Potato. Hi, Potato. Okay. So, since I'm going to be using this layer, this thing is too small. So I'm going to make that a bit bigger to fit the arm better. Alright, and I'll mirror it back. So, that is my right hand, right? Yeah, that is my right hand. I'm right-handed, so. Alright, this is my... Right, I forgot. Okay, I'm gonna copy that again, and on this one, I'm gonna erase the hand, and on this one, I'm gonna erase the arm. Because this hand, I'm gonna do something a little cheap, but you can't stop me. What's it? Yeah, wait a second. Huh. There we go. Uh-oh, it fits! I'm just gonna use the exact same hand again. Nothing can stop me. So cool, yeah. I love cheating. No, but for real, art, you know, sometimes you just gotta do it. It looks different. It's the other way. It's fine. Copy things. Make it easier on yourself. I don't want to draw another hand, so I don't have to. Okay, what is this line here? What layer is this single line on this one? Oh, I get it. It's the shirt. Okay. Just gonna get rid of this real quick and not add more to it. Who's gonna know? Exactly. Only anyone watching this stream. And you know what they should say? Good job. Art doesn't need to be more complicated. It's a little bigger. It's juicy forearms, because I do have wonderful forearms. I don't know what it is, but I really like my forearms. I'm really proud of them. Forearms are cool, just in general. You will know? Yeah. Don't hold it over me, don't use it as blackmail. You heard corns? Oh, forearms. Sorry. I'm really good at speaking. Corns are better. I think that little boy in that meme agrees with you. That corns are better than forearms. But I disagree because I think forearms are wonderful. Something about them, dude. They're so cool. Anyway. Okay. I really should have thought about this and like did better. Chaos. Anyway, this is the skin layer. Maybe I should just combine them all. I can definitely combine these two skirt layers. This one. That's a sketch layer. That should not be combined. Sketch, sketch. I'm just gonna move all the sketch layers to the same place, which is at the bottom of this stack. Actually, yeah, just outside of the stack. I'm just gonna make a sketch folder. There we go. Now all of those are in the same place. So that is the arm. Whatever this speckling is in to figure. Ah, it's part of the skirt. Got it. Hey, this is supposed to be in the sketch layer. Sketch folder. There we go. So pretty. I'm glad you like it. Okay. Just gonna clean up a few elements of this because it's getting a bit messy right around here. So I need to be able to see a little bit better what I'm working. Again, I am gonna keep it rough. Like, I'm probably just gonna make this a colored sketch because I actually just really like sketches. I like how they look, so I'll clean up a couple areas like I'm kind of doing now, but overall, I'll probably leave it just as is. Definitely not doing line art on it. I put effort into the sketch to make sure I didn't have to. Oops. Although cleaning up a sketch is kind of like giving it like rough line art. You know, that you're taking the time to make it look nicer and more polished, but I think that's fine. Okay, and this is the closed bit, so this is still some. Is there anything else overlapping? No, I think that's all. These are the clothes. Or the top, rather. Gonna clean a little bit as well. Just a little bit. We don't want to stab ourselves with our armor. That kind of is counterproductive to what it's supposed to do. Okay, yeah. And the chest is turning forwards. This the shoulder there. The shoulder should be. Okay. Oh, don't die. I'm glad you think it's pretty, but don't die. What's overlapping? Sword. That part. That part. I think I'm happy with the positioning of things. Maybe the hand holding the sword needs to be a bit smaller. I feel like I already did that though, and that's why, yeah, that's why it got, I made it bigger, and that's why it lost a bit of its polish, but I made it smaller again. Sometimes that just do be how it is, so, you know. That's fine. Alright, and this is overlap. Oh, that's the edge of the hand that I didn't erase with merging it. Okay. There we go. Sometimes it just doobie 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 doo. Heck yeah. Indeed it doobie. Alright. Cool. So, that is good. So now it's time to do her head. Oh no. Pretty long forearm. Which is not inaccurate, but you know. And now to draw my face. Woo! Oh. I just realized that we have a slight problem. That was supposed to be where the eye is. Huh. Interesting. Well, I'm just gonna merge all these so that I can more easily move everything. There we go. So that's the entire top half. Cool. Can more easily make adjustments without having to go through all those layers and find things. That's something about me. I like preserving my layers, but I also like being able to just select things on one layer and move them around. So I like making copies of my layers. So that I have like a backup if I need to pull one part from one layer for some reason. Which is fine, I guess, but it's just kind of odd. Thank you. I am glad you think so. Alright. Now to figure out this situation. What we want to do about this. So, that kind of makes sense for the head positioning. I feel like the boot's too big. Oh, I'm so good at deciding on things. I feel like it works pretty well there. It looks like this body would flow into it. I didn't try any major foreshortening or anything, so keep it simple. But yeah, if I want that face there, I kind of have to move the sword down. Because it is entirely blocking the face. Unless maybe if I can alter the angle of it. Like if I can bring this down and the other side up. To make it kind of a... Yeah. So that it's like on a flatter angle. So it's more pointing that way. I guess I'd have to kind of do the same thing to the blade. That way. That also makes it longer, which I kind of like. I don't want to change the angle of it. Like the actual physical angle. There we go. Now it's on an angle. Ah, skew tools. My best friend. It's that easy. We now have altered the angle of the sword without redrawing majorly anything. I'm just fixing up this edge here since it wasn't fully finished. Okay, now let's bring the sketch back. We kind of have the eye. I feel like I might want to push it even more. Maybe like that. There we go. Now our eye is visible. And that's how you do it. Just adjust things until it's close enough. Yeah, That works. Anyway. I think I might just clean these up as well. Just copy those and clean up the edges. Or I might just try and draw a new one over top. Just exactly what it is though. Alright, and now her head time. My head, I guess. I'm just gonna go ahead and hide this layer so that I don't get distracted by the lines for that. I'm gonna go pretty much, I really like how this looks already, so I'm pretty much gonna stick to it. Almost. I have a little bit more brow ridge than that. And again, like I said, I'm a little bit flattering to myself, but I try to keep it, you know, not making myself a jawline, like a harsh, perfect jawline or anything. Real soft and rounded. Oh goodness. We're already 15 minutes over time. Well, I'm vibing. We're gonna finish this today. We might go quite a bit long, so do not feel pressured to stay. But I'm just gonna keep going. So we're almost done the sketch and then it'll just be like some loose color. We are not doing line art. Actually, fairy ears. I could do like super big, super pointy little pixie ears. Woohoo! Super big pointy ears. I'm doing huge pointy ears and stop. Because it's a fairy. Fairies can have. And I think I will still do piercing. Ooh. Chain one? There we go. No, this is the wrong face shape. Try again later. Do I want to give... I mean, yeah, probably, but what type? Do I do the big chain one? No, that's Gemstone's thing. I guess I could have done this as Gemstone, but oh well, it's me. I want to draw the crystals anyway. What type of earrings do I wear? Typically just little ones. I don't have a second piercing. Add one. Maybe not. I do wear ear cuffs. But that's to give myself elf ears, so... Oh, wait a second. Before I spend a bunch of time on the face shape, I only need that much of it. Okay. There we go! I just need to get the eyes right, which are one of the hardest things for me, but it's also very small in here. Maybe as long as I indicate them right, should be fine. But not so much anger, more worried because I'm in defense mode. I don't really go on attack mode often. Like, hey, why are you attacking me? You haven't even talked yet. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to have a pet. And a crown. I think I got distracted just drawing this. I wasn't paying attention to the prompts. Okay, pets. Well, I like bats. Specifically fruit bats, flying foxes. So that could be kind of wild right now, so... Oh my goodness. Not inaccurate. Plus she is jumping down. It's really long right now as well. I still do have a side part. I don't really know how to do hair still. Like, I don't know how to do the shapes well, so that's something that I definitely need to learn. Especially if I'm gonna keep separating it out like this. Saxophone? You can stop. There we go. Pretty bold eyebrows. Worried expression. Eyes looking that way. And I always forget that I have freckles. They're not like super duper pronounced, but they're definitely there. So, especially since this prompt involved talking about freckles. What was it? If you have freckles, you add crown. So especially since this involved freckles, I'm gonna put them on. I don't have any super big dark ones, but since I've been out in the sun a little bit more recently, they're also really coming out, so I'll make them a little bit more visible. I also forgot the crown part that I just mentioned needing to remember. Flower crown? Like really loose little signet. I feel like that's pretty cute. Just really nice, delicate. I'm gonna make it on a separate layer because I'm gonna just do solid lines for it and then I'll probably just color the lines gold. Because you know it's gotta be gold if it's me. So just really subtle like that, and then it probably goes like under the hair. Leaves on? No, leaves doesn't really make sense because I've got mushrooms going on. What would make sense? I guess little wings. Little dragonfly wings. That's kind of cute. Although it would also, like, would wings be weird? Because would that be like having like an arm or like a hand? Like a headband with a foot on it or something? Because it's just a part of their body, right? But they are so beautiful. I kind of like that actually. I really like the wing. Yeah. Now I don't really have swirly anywhere else in the design, so I almost feel like I should mimic the points a little bit more. I guess kind of like the buttons. So if I do like a sharp turn into the curve, then it's kind of like the squared ends on these and then the buttons of them. I feel like that kind of works as a design point. Dragonfly. Yeah. I feel like that works. That's kind of a hat, right? Also gotta add my glasses, because even in fantasy, I must not escape them. I don't know... have you ever seen those posts where it's like, people with glasses, do you dream... When you dream, do you have glasses on? And I don't know. I can't remember. I don't really see myself that clearly. I'm more of like a specter, I guess. So I'm not really sure if I do. But I have been wearing them since I was, you know, like 7 or 9 or something. So I feel like probably should. And also I always put them in all my designs and stuff because it doesn't quite look like me without them. I really don't like how I look without my glasses. I feel like my eyes are too close together, and having glasses kind of draws more attention to the center of my face. So it like works a little bit better. So I tend to draw myself with glasses. And fairy me shall be no different. I kind of wanted to get like contacts for a while, but like when I was 17 or 18, I think, but I really don't think they would suit me. I think glasses suit me well. Be on this layer. Nice. I think that looks pretty good. So that is hat, glasses, sword, pointy ears, dragonfly wings. I need to add the dragonfly wings still. Pets, mushroom. I don't really think this looks much like a mushroom, but if I pattern it like one, then it should be fine. Pets. I need pets and I need my wings, so I'm gonna just grab this to do the wings. I don't want to draw the whole wings again. I'm gonna move all this stuff into the sketch folder, into the sketch folder, please. There we go. Just that it's all kind of in one place. And then okay, maybe I will actually draw new ones. Those are a bit too chunky for what I need. Well, maybe not chunky, but I'm gonna go ahead and just use them as a base and draw a little bit cleaner over them. I feel like that'll be easier in the long run than cleaning them up. So they have like two. I can draw along the same place twice. I am still gonna keep it loose though. So they have kind of edge to them, but then the bottoms don't. And then the top of this one, what is that? Yeah, I think this was a good way to go about it, because then I can make slight alterations as I'm going along instead of racing first. I want to keep it loose though. These a little bit lighter. Wingies, yeah. Wingies. Yeah, just getting the shape straight from it. We figured those. Alrighty. Yeah. Nice. They're a lot cleaner, but they still have the qualities we were going for. Oh, it turns out this is a different reference, actually. That's probably why I didn't notice, but I think it's the same. Oh, right. The one I was looking at earlier was the one below it. It was the black one. I mentioned that. But this one is rainbow. What is wrong with me? Anyway, it's a very similar wing shape. And then I'm just gonna stretch them out and make them a little bit longer, because I think that's cool. Duplicate that, and form mirror. And let's get these bad boys on here. I'm gonna do them the same way as that, just because they are... I really like the positioning, like the composition of this piece. I feel like I made this one a bit more horizontal than I meant to, because she's, you know, my proportions are a bit stubbier than this one. But, I think it still works pretty well. Get that music going again. I reached the end of the playlist, and instead of looping, it just stops for some reason. Okay. So these ones are back and up. I'm trying to make them come from the center, like the same place on each side. I want to really do them smaller. It's because if I actually make them all over smaller, then they can look a little bit unbalanced. I'm gonna try and keep them about the same, just altering the angles of that, but then one slightly more. Okay, I think I might want to make both of them smaller, but that'll be after I placing them a little far out so that when I merge these down and both smaller, they'll be the right distance apart. Oh. I'm going to turn them a bit more so that they follow the angle of the skirt and sword a little bit more closely, because I don't want too many different directions going on. So this half, I need to even follow the sword's line pretty much exactly, because the skirt's also going up in that direction. No, I think it was actually better overlapping ever so slightly, but no. Now I have it in my little sketch here. I don't need to stick to the sketch if it isn't close enough because, you know, obviously, like I said, the proportions are different, but I want to stick pretty close to it. So maybe switching, that helps. So these got a bit too small. Ooh, okay, yeah. I kind of matched them exactly to the sketch because that's how it looks best. I like making them dance for some reason. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Now, boom. Add the sketch. I actually hide the body sketch separately. Also stretch. No. Oh, save, hide art, start. No joint rust. You got it. Okay, starched. Alright, so now Pets is left. She's kind of flying, so I don't really know, you know, how much of the pets would be showing if they're on the ground. I mean, I did say a bat, but I don't know if that really fits with the aesthetic. Unless I make it like a really dark lighting scenario, but I don't know. Should I do my go-to bat, or should I do like the fairy equivalent? So if I was a dragon... Oh, I don't know. If I was a bat, I would have... Or not a bat, if I was a dragon... If I was a fox, I would have a flying fox? I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm talking about. What creature should I have? Maybe a moth? Dragonfly and a moth? I don't know if that's weird. So please ignore the dogs. They're going off at something. And save. Actually, I guess this wing would be in front of this part of the skirt. Whoops. Undo. There we go. These wings would actually be in front of the skirt. They're coming from up here. Oh my goodness. Freya is absolutely going bonkers right now. Apologies. But yeah, so these wings would be in front of the skirt, but just behind the body. So I need to that instead. There we go. is cool. I think I'm just gonna change. Gonna need to alter this a little bit. I should have done this before I should have done this before I erased all those lines, but this needs to be a little bit higher just because it was going into where the skirt would be, which, you know, probably wouldn't work so well for the wings to be going into the skirt. So we'll just fix that up there. And just add in these parts that I'm a smaller brush that can actually weigh in 1 or 2 strokes instead of a bunch of really light ones. And I'm gonna bring this down as well. It feels like this gap is too big between. Just like that. Bada bing, bada boom. Hello, Grim the Necromancer. Welcome. Banana? Not quite, but interesting theory. Banana. Banana. Indeed. Yeah, I'm also gonna leave these wings on a separate layer because I'm probably going to color them separately as well. Just because they're gonna have transparency and all that. Yay, smiles for banana. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Pets. Pets is next. What pets? Okay, Dragonfly. What else is in Dragonfly areas? They're normally around like ponds and creeks and stuff. Fish. Frog? Frog! Frog. 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 It's frog time! Frog. Frog. Froggy. Ribbit. Ooh, this one's so cute. Mini frog, ayo, yeah. Cause she's gonna be tiny. You know, she's tiny. This frog, even tinier. And I've got an idea of where to put it. So we're gonna see. Oh, you guys know each other? Heck yeah. I mean, don't know each other. Definitely. Frog. I put in a little tiny frog. Completely unrelated. I painted a frog the other day. I was just messing around and I ended up with a frog somehow. Like it was destiny. Frog. I will ignore this obviously odd interaction. In place of, or in place of it, I will put frog. Okay. Now, it wasn't a very good frog that I painted, so don't expect this to be amazing or anything. But it is a frog. It's going to look like a of some. What interaction? I don't know. What do you mean? There was no interaction here? Okay, I believe you. Alright. Rogue. Rogue. Not even stylized, it's just a real frog. I should just take a PNG of a frog. A frog, give him a gun. Why would we give the frog a gun? You can't trust a frog with a gun. Wait. Flashbacks to Ribbit Ranger, if anyone knows what that is. Frog that I drew too much. Definitely don't look up Drawfee. No clue? Okay, perfect. Frogs have little nostrils. That's so cute. This does not look like a frog. But I'm gonna find out. No! I can explain. The explanation is I was real tired that day. Am I still proud of it? Yes. Anyway. Oh, this frog is so cute! I want to make him look a bit stupider. Does that mean to say? As a member of the stupid community, I feel like it's alright. Oh, maybe if one of his eyes is like a little bit closed. Head empty. No thoughts. Just frog. Lit. Well, make him cockeyed too. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Lit. Tongue's kind of hanging out the side. Or really get them just opposite eyes. Can look dumber. Maybe if I widen them really big. No. Rogue. Okay. Rogue body time. Ah, Grim the Necromancer, thank you for following. Sorry, I stumbled on your name. Necromancer. I know that word very well. I still failed. Woohoo! Alright. Rogue. Mwahaha. Oh no, have you discovered? Death. Oh no. Alright. Really trying to do this frog here. I don't know why I decided to do a frog. Frogs are so complicated. I should have just done a simpler one. It's real? I think that's fine. Never gonna guess where I'm put it. There are no clues. This position of how I've chosen to draw it. On the head. No, you guessed my ploy. Yes, frog head. Ba ba ba. Alright, he's looking pretty derpy, which is great. They're a necromancer? The frog? Is the frog a necromancer? Oh no. Obviously. He's playing innocent. But really, he toys with the very nature of life and death. Oh. I should make it a poison frog. But then I probably wouldn't want it sitting on my head. He just wants friends. Aww. I'm his friend. We'll be his friends. I don't need to draw this frog's back legs. What am I doing? I can just do a little sport. It's just stuck on my head. Be real small. Maybe I should have made him a bit bigger. But oh well. Okey-dokey. S. What? Look, S. Have any shortcuts that are S. Didn't even do anything. There's nothing. Anyway. Frog. On head. Head frog. What did I... Oh, there. Head frog will now become the top layer. Not really hidden. Gotta do him justice. Since he's so small, it'll be hard to tell. I don't do this right. And I really am just exposing exactly what type of person I am, aren't I? Talking about cosplay and frogs all the time. I am a mentally stable individual. Frog's legs go backwards. Not forwards. Backwards. Then forwards. There we go. That's more like it. I was looking a little too human there. There we go. That also got me to fix up his toe. This one should probably be fine as long as I just move it over. There we go. It's so silly looking. Heck yeah. That's exactly what I was going for. She's in like battle and he's just the frog of death. His name Azo? Azoe? Quibl. Quibl. This frog's name is Quibl. That's a good one. Now it looks more like a lizard. What did I do to Quibl? Make it more like a frog. Is there... Maybe a gecko? How did I forget that I like geckos? There are geckos in the house all the time, so I decided to love them a lot. Because you're supposed to fall in love with an element of nature around you. And it's either that or cockroaches. Eat them? No! I'm not eating all my little gecko guys. There's some baby geckos around sometimes. They're so cute. I accidentally turned it into a gecko. And you're a genius for mentioning it because I like geckos. Frogs are neat too, but I actually like actively enjoy geckos' company. Because they're always hanging around the house. You talking shiz behind your back? Like how Baker was? Hey! Why are they talking shiz? I'm nice to them. I say hi. I asked them to turn into a dragon so I can hit them as a dragon. I saved a baby gecko from inside the room that I was working in the other day. Caught it in a cup. Placed it outside. Because they get in the house all the time here, which is fine because the windows aren't solid, so it's really easy for them to get in and out. But those windows were solid in that room, so it would have been stuck. They think you a stupid hummus. They call gem people hummus. Honestly, they wouldn't be wrong. In the stupid part. The hummus is probably wrong. I don't think I'm made of chickpeas. Oh, but geckos can have really big eyes. So maybe they're really... There we go. Derp. Kinda adds to it. Are you sure? Well, yeah, fairly sure. I don't think I'm made out of hummus. Watermelon ice cream? I love Quibl, he is perfect. Should have a hat. A mushroom hat to bring it back around. Mushroom hat for Quibl. To bring it back around to the mushrooms. Quibl has a mushroom. And this is how you build OCs, people. Just throw on whatever you think of, and if it works, it works. Yes, this is a mushroom. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's a mushroom. Quibl has a mushroom hat. Quibl has a mushroom. Okay. And the last thing I need is get rid of this. Should he be under, like holding on under the... I don't know if that makes sense. It's like got his little feet right in there. I feel like it makes these over time. Like how those. It's Quibl! Oh, he's perfect. Pet acquired. Quibl the gecko. This whole dramatic scene and then just okie dokie. Quibl, arms, head decoration, head, and then arms can probably be combined. Merge down. Skirt and arms can probably be combined. So we have her, and then facial accessories, Quibl, wings. Perfect. And what can I not forget? The glowing sword. Alright, so we're gonna do a quick color pass. I know it's running like way overtime, but who cares? We're just doing this. Now go play Roblox, but have fun time. Thank you. Also, the art's so good and Quibl's so handsome. Thank you. Maybe I should color next time then, because we are at 3 hours. What's running overtime? My stream's normally just 2 hours, and we're already at 3, and all I've done is a sketch. We had a lot of art thoughts. Maybe I should just add a base color and continue next time? Do some rendering? I don't know if that's a good idea. Streamed for 12 just 2 days ago? 12 hours. Oof. I don't think I have enough brain power for that. Although it might be more amusing if I have very little brain power, but... Painful. That's good on you. I don't think I could do that. Sometimes I can hardly survive the 2. So luckily I'm doing pretty well at staying as good as possible, but starting to run out of brain power at the 3-hour mark. I kind of feel like I want to continue this next time. Because it's the entire coloring process, but also coloring isn't that interesting. Working on your light novel? Ooh. No. Those are... Does that have illustrations? Don't know a ton about them. A light novel is a style of young adult novel primarily targeting blah blah. 50,000. Okay. Illustrated in manga art style and adapted into manga. Just a short novel? Fair enough. I wasn't sure if it had like the visual elements of manga or not, because I knew they were like, I often heard the terms near each other. What's it about? Sounds real cool. I think I add the base colors and then can Entered Photoshop mode for a second there. I put down my pen because I use the mouse for it, but this is way easy. Oops. Not if it's going the wrong way though. Usually they have lots of books. Ah, it's an isekai where the MC has to help that world's dying god regain his stolen divinity? That sounds awesome. What's the setting? Is it like fantasy or modern? Well, isekai, but like isekai world, like ancient civilization. That sounds so cool. 2, 3. Very high fantasy, lots of monsters, demons, and magic. Ooh, awesome. Very dark story? Ooh. Oh yeah, I guess like stolen divinity. Sounds cool. How far through are you? Or like what stage, I guess. I know it's non-linear creating story. Your VTuber is a character from that world? Oh, that's awesome. You VTube as well? That's so cool. I will have to check out stream. Heck yeah. That sounds so cool to have like a story for your VTuber. I kind of have like a loose one started for Gemstone, but I haven't done a ton with it yet. Writing the prologue, but mainly working on your lore. You want the world to feel real? Heck yeah. World building, like when it's done well, is so, so cool. Adds so much life to it. Feather by 2. Go. In your world, necromancers aren't a natural class? Oh. Aren't a natural class. How do they come about then? Okay, we've got our base color down. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to get rid of these. These are gonna add a cool element to the silhouette. Select row by 2. Feather by 2. Actually, maybe we'll feather by 1. And then there we go. Yeah, that adds a cool element to the silhouette. Perfect. And we're gonna go ahead and grab the wings now. Oh. Forgot about that. That's fine. I can color them. Waiting for more info. Alright, let's see here. Probably best to not color them directly on that layer. Actually, I should make this visible because this color is only needed where the body actually overlaps, so it's not needed anywhere else. Because these are just going to be lower transparency. I'm going to do some effects on them. Nice and... I think I'll do the rendering next stream, because there's going to be quite a bit of it, so... Because there's like a lot of different materials, the shininess and stuff, and I wanted the skin to be colored as well, which will be an interesting... I'm gonna be careful to only get overlapping the skirt portion. That's what it's behind, what it's in front of rather. Wait, this part here is actually wings. Oh, thought it was add some lines to the wings to fill that way in. Necromancers in particular are originally spiritualists, contact spirits, but when they become consumed by negative emotions and lose control of their magic, they lose the spirits, then obtain a corrupted version of the magic, where they can force souls into contracts. They force them into bodies and then pull out the skeleton while binding it with their magic. Very messy as the flesh melts off. Oh, spooky. That's a really cool take on it. Goodness. That's awesome though. Definitely gotta check out. Do you post your VODs to a YouTube channel, or are they just on Twitch for a limited time? Filling in base colors can also help me see any mistakes in the silhouettes as well, so this will hopefully be helpful in case anything's wonky with the wing. It is entirely possible. Just on Twitch, you don't know how to do the YouTube part? Only got the OC in... oh, a PC in January. Ah! Same here. Did I get mine in January? No, maybe it was just last year. I think I got mine just like a month or two before. Fair enough though. Do you download your VODs or save them anywhere? Where are those? From the wing? Is from the wing. There we go. And then... you didn't know you could do that? Ah. Yeah, after you stream in, like on the Twitch website, it has the option to download your VODs. And also, if you use like OBS or Streamlabs, you can also record while streaming, so it does like a separate recording. I use both because I found my VODs often had something wrong with them, like the music was off or it didn't record my mic for my first stream. So I always have a backup copy. Ah, that looks so cool. It's gonna look so cool with stuff on. Yeah, I personally like saving my work. I like to, you know, rewatch my stuff sometimes. I like to keep an archive of everything I do, which is not for everyone, and it's not like some people don't need that, some people don't want that. But if you do, then I would recommend it. Neat to have. Plus on YouTube, you know, people can watch it forever, whereas Twitch, the VODs only last, I think, a week now. Does it take a lot of space? I don't have much on my PC. Ah, yeah, it does. It's a couple gigs per video. So it does. If you have access to getting like an external hard drive, I would maybe recommend that, but also that's just not for everybody, so fair enough. Also, I'm lucky to be in a position where I can, you know, spend money on extras like that, but yeah. Heck yeah. I think this looks pretty good. Yeah, it's quite a bit of extra steps and storage and stuff for it. Alright, I think that is going to be where I'm gonna end it today. Made some really cool progress. Probably could have gone faster if I wasn't me, but I am me, so slow art, you know, part of the process. But I'm really happy with how she turned out. I love the prompts. Good dragonfly wings, pointy ears, crown or a hat, sword or lantern, pet's mushroom dress. I think it's awesome, and it's about time I drew myself again. It's definitely not like half of what I draw. can't work for medical reasons, so you don't have the money to buy things like that. PC was given by sister and bought herself a new one. Ah, that is extremely valid. You can also, if you have enough space to save one at a time, and if you do want to upload them to YouTube, or even if you don't want to publish them, just to archive them, you can make them private on a channel. So if you wanted to keep them somehow, you could save them one at a time, like just after you've finished it. Well, I guess 12 hours ones might be a little hard with limited space, because my 3-ish hours ones often take up about 2 to 3 gigs, I think. So, you know, a 12-hour one might be, you know, like 12, 15 or so, but if you have that space spare at like once, then if you wanted to upload them to YouTube, you could just leave them private or publish them if you want. But that's just a way that you could store it that it wouldn't be on your computer. Just an idea if that's something you'd be interested in, but to each their own. Think you'll try that? Yeah, it's I found that since I like to save things, that's a really good way to keep like a backup of it, because it's on the internet, so it's likely safe on YouTube. You know, fair enough. Like, as safe as a hard drive or something. Also, if you want to remove any silences, I'd recommend Timebolt. You can just put a file into it and it can remove silences of a certain length. You can do some other work on it. It has like a couple filters, which I don't use because it messes up my voice a little bit. But you can remove silences and add looping background music, so if you wanted to, you know, find any free to use playlists or anything, you could add that right into the video. But yeah, there's a few different things with it that might help out. It could also make the files smaller and stuff, so I use that just to remove any lulls in conversation, so it's a bit more of a steady VOD. Yeah, just a couple things I recommend checking out. I use, so if you're interested, they're there. But that is probably going to be all for me today. I'm probably gonna finish this up next week. Just do some coloring and rendering, not line art. No worries, everybody, I'm not going to do line art, because it takes a very long time. I've already spent a long time on this. My last piece was like a 20-hour piece, so that's gonna be it for today. I hope that you've enjoyed. I really like how it turned out so far. You have a lovely night as well. I'm gonna have to check out your stream. It sounds really cool. Yes, thank you for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and farewell.